GTN Radio. Hear the difference.
Now the news on 1G. Iraq's foreign ministry has summoned the U.S. chargé d'affaires in Baghdad in protest against U.S. airstrikes in Iraq. The ministry says Iraq reiterated its refusal that its lands be an arena for settling scores. The United States launched strikes against Iran-linked targets in Syria and Iraq after an attack in Jordan that killed 3 U.S. troops. The Iraqi government says U.S. attacks killed 16 people. It has drawn widespread condemnation. Syria says it has served to fuel conflict in the Middle East in a very dangerous way. Iran has condemned the move as violations of its sovereignty and territorial integrity. Associated Press News Director John Gambrell has more on reactions from the region.
We're hearing from Middle Eastern nations, basically across the region, after these U.S. strikes on Iraq and Syria that saw 125 bombs and missiles dropped on a wide variety of targets there. Now, Iraq, which is hosting U.S. troops, came out with a statement saying it saw this as a violation of its sovereignty. Syria also has criticized it, as well as Iran. The White House has drawn a direct line with these malicious bombs to Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard, which is overseen by its supreme leader. And also, we're hearing from Jordan, where there's 3 U.S. troops were killed and dozens other wounded in this attack that launched these retaliatory airstrikes. Jordan says it was not, and I repeat, not involved in this round of airstrikes by the United States.
A top Hamas official says the group's leadership is studying the proposal for a truce with Israel. Osama Hamdan says Hamas' response to the motion put forward by the U.S., Egypt, Qatar, and Israel will be based on conditions including a permanent ceasefire. Israel insists that its hostages be released in exchange for a pause in fighting. Hamas has refused unless Israel ends its offensive and withdraws from Gaza. The militant group is also seeking a broader agreement that would include a long-term truce and reconstruction, the lifting of an Israeli-Egyptian blockade, and the release of prisoners held in Israeli jails. Northern Ireland has appointed an Irish nationalist as First Minister for the first time in a state established to ensure the dominance of pro-British Unionists. Michelle O'Neill's appointment came as the Democratic Unionist Party formally ended a 2-year boycott of power-sharing government after striking a deal with the British government to ease post-Brexit trade frictions. The new leader welcomed the shift.
We mark a moment of equality and a moment of progress, a new opportunity to work and to grow together. Confident in that wherever we come from, whatever our aspirations are, we can and we must build our future together. I'm really delighted to see every MLA back in this chamber today, and I welcome the fact that the DUP have decided to re-enter the democratic institutions.
Britain's Minister for the region said the restoration of government represented a great day for Northern Ireland. The DUP's Emma Little-Pengley took on the post of Deputy First Minister. China has unveiled its #1 central document for 2024, outlining the priorities for comprehensively promoting rural revitalization this year. The document encompasses 6 parts, including ensuring national food security and forestalling any large-scale relapse into poverty. It also covers improving rural industries development, strengthening rural construction, and enhancing rural governance. As the first policy statement released by China's central authorities each year, the document is seen as an indicator of policy priorities. Nationwide passenger traffic continues to grow in China amid the Spring Festival travel rush. Over 81 million trips were made during the first week of the travel rush. Data from the Ministry of Transport shows air passenger trips have surpassed 2 million. The 27 member states of the European Union have unanimously endorsed the bloc's landmark legislation governing the utilization of artificial intelligence. The European Parliament is expected to vote on the finalized text in March or April before it becomes law. And that's the news. I'm 1G.